He said, "So I heard you can transform or shapeshift into anything you want." Good morning, respectable director, deputy director, judges, parents, and my beloved friends. Today, I am very excited to tell my story to all of you. My story that I read from a book, its title is Puss in Boots. Once upon a time, there was a miller who had 3 sons. When he died, he left everything he owned to his 3 sons. The eldest received the mill. The second son received the donkey. And the last son received the old cat. "What are we going to do, Puss? We have no home," said the youngest son. When the youngest son said sadly. Then he was surprised to see that the cat could speak. The cat said, "You have been nice to me my entire life, so I would like to repay you. Do as I say from now on, and I will make your fortune. Get me a hat and a pair of red boots." The youngest son did so. When the cat received the boots, he pulled them and he asked for a bag. And when he received the bag, he went into the field nearby, put a tiny carrot inside the bag, and waited until a rabbit went inside the bag. When the rabbit went inside, he pulled the things tightly. And he knew that the king liked rabbits too, so he presented it as a gift and said, "This is a present from my master, the Marquis of Carabas." And he did the same thing every day for a few weeks. One day, he told the youngest son to go for a swim in the nearby lake. The son did so quickly. When he jumped in the lake, the king's coach was approaching. He stole his master's clothes and hid them behind a bush. He yelled to the king's coach, "Help, help! My master is drowning, the Marquis of Carabas." The king's men went to help the youngest son quickly and dressed him in some fine clothes. The king told the youngest son to come inside the coach. The youngest son did so and sat next to the beautiful princess. Then Puss in Boots rushed ahead to a few men who were farming in a cornfield. He said, "When the king's coach come here," he said, Puss in Boots said fiercely, "tell them this land and this entire cornfield belongs to your master, the Marquis of Carabas." The men were so frightened by the fierce talking cat that they did so. And the king was amazed by how much land the Marquis of Carabas owned. Then Puss in Boots sprinted ahead into the castle of a giant. He said, "So I heard you can transform or shapeshift into anything you want." The giant said, "Yes, I can." And he showed it by transforming into a fierce lion and roared loudly. Puss in Boots said, while shaking in fear, "Could you shapeshift into a tiny mouse? That would be harder to do." The giant replied, "That isn't hard." And he shapeshifted into a mouse, a tiny mouse. Then, as fast as lightning, Puss in Boots pounced on the tiny mouse and gobbled it up. When the king's coach approached the castle, the tiny cat in Boots said, "This castle is the home of my master, the Marquis of Carabas." So the king was delighted to know that he owned all that land and all that and in that castle. So when the youngest son asked the king if he could marry his daughter, the king accepted quickly. The very next day, they got married and lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you for listening to my story, and thank you for taking your time to listen.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me invite Teacher Ru. Please ask him any questions.
Oh, hello, Yukong. Well done. Good story reading.
Thank you.
Can you please tell me who was the worst character in your story? The evil character.
In my opinion, I would say the evil character would be, I would think it's the father, because he gave his eldest son the mill, his second son a donkey, and left his youngest son only with an old cat that he thought had nothing to do.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you very much, Yukong, and well done.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you.